Ladies and gentlemen, today I am at Audi Center Glen Mary checking out the new Audi Q8 e-tron. Let's go inside. Here you can see the regular Q8, the petrol version, and also the Q8 e-tron, which is a fully electric vehicle. Important to note that the Q8 e-tron isn't the electrified version of the regular Q8. The regular Q8 is slightly larger, it's slightly wider and has a slightly longer wheelbase as compared to the Q8 e-tron. And indeed, it is true. When I first laid my eyes on these two, I immediately noticed the difference in size, the difference in heft. In fact, I nearly thought that Q8 e-tron was a Q5 or Q4, and when I looked at the plate lah, Q8 rupanya. Mythos Black. Glacier White is pictured over there. There is a clear difference in the metal if you compare these two cars side by side. And now let's look at the rear of the e-tron. It's slightly different as compared to the Q8. So it's clearly seen here that these two vehicles are not the same. They only share the nameplate, the Q8 nameplate, and the rest, they have their own identities and uses. Let's go around the Q8 e-tron for a while. There, on Glacier White, you can see the rear much clearer. It sports a simpler rear end. The lights are slimmer as compared to the Q8. And the bumper trim is also different, if you notice. What do you think? Do you like the design? I certainly do love the design. I think that Audi's electric cars have a very nice grille and facade. Its front face is handsome, it is not overdone, and the design elements are very well integrated into one another. Just look at it. These are LED headlamps, not the matrix version or the digital versions that you normally hear. These are the normal LED lamps, but still bright enough. Then a few sensors and the front camera over there. Going to the side, we have these 20-inch wheels with 6-spot calipers and stainless steel brakes as standard. Moving on to the lobang minyak. Press it and it opens very smoothly, just like how any Q8 e-tron driver would be in his life. Very smooth and very sleek. Okay, I think she's going to open the door, so I better close it back. Now let's go inside the Q8 e-tron, which is the car of interest for today. Jom masuk. Okay, driver's seat. First thing that you will see is how you shift the car. Now, I remember some time ago when I sat in the Audi A3, there was this little wedge. No, not the A3, the RS3 sedan. There was a wedge where you could shift gears, and in this Q8 e-tron, it's slightly different. This whole thing is your palm rest. It doesn't move. What you need to do to shift gears is to move this satin silver part. So you push it in correspondence with what's shown here. So kalau nak N, push it forward. R, push it forward. And if you want P, press the button. Now, from my point of view, you can see that there are 3 screens. This is the virtual cockpit. It shows you your speedometer, tachometer. You can even set your maps to be shown here. Now, the second screen is Audi's MMI interface screen, where it shows you the car functions, the maps, the infotainment system, and whatnot. Now, the third screen down here is your climate control screen. So, unlike the RS e-tron GT, which we saw a few months ago, it had physical buttons. The Q8 e-tron is fully screened, I would say. So yeah, that's a lot of screens, man. Ada 3 screen dalam sebuah kereta. Technology is certainly making its mark in our lives. The aircon vents, and there is ambient lighting inside these trims here and in these door trims here. I love the fact that they have used silver satin finishes on some of their trims. It reminds me of the silver mirror caps, the side mirror caps on Audi's S cars. Very nice. Now the steering wheel itself, let me move my seat backward. This is adjustable. Okay. The point of view is slightly higher than if you sit in a sedan car. Slightly higher, you have slightly better view of the road. And as you can see, this is Audi's modern or contemporary designs of steering wheels, very angular, as is the dashboard. Nampak tak? Nampak macam gunung ganang, macam canyon atas ni. Ada banyak shapes and angles. If you see from the side, banyak betul angle tajam-tajam dia. Which I like. You know, it utilizes lines in a very good way. Now jumping over into the back seat. Must I note that ingress and egress is easy because the car isn't that high, so stepping out of the car is very easy. See, I'm already stepping on the car, you know, I don't even have to jump down as in when you bought some SUVs. Okay, the back seats. The first thing I notice is that the bench comes up to the end of my thigh and below my knees. So ini sangat bagus. It helps reduce fatigue because usually on cars, the bench comes up to here, slightly behind your knee. So you find yourself supporting yourself through the corners tau. Dia jadi macam lenguh sikit. But in this case, the seat supports you fully. Of course, the all-important climate vents for the rear. This is Malaysia after all. And here, you have your climate control systems for the rear system. Depan boleh, belakang pun boleh. Then the all-important USB-C charging ports over here. Sekarang, automakers are shifting more towards USB-C as opposed to the normal USB-A. And cigarette lighter bro! Lama weh tak nampak benda ni. The seat backs have pockets and some cutouts in them. So if you are taller than me, your fit should be better lah. Okay, moving over to the headroom. I don't know if you can see this, but it's only what? Around 6 inches macam itu, which is very good. If you're slightly taller than me, maybe you'll get this much, but still, your head has wiggle room to move about. So it won't be claustrophobic. I do not know about the Sportback version. This is the normal SUV version. But maybe the Sportback won't sacrifice too much lah. I think you'll still be fine in the Sportback. Okay, besides that, you have your reading lamps. Macam flight lah. Then, you can hang your coat via a hanger here or stick them into this part. Aircon vents on the B pillar, also very important, so that you get a gust of wind to your body and a second gust of wind into the cabin. Helps cool a lot. And if you look further inside the door trim, it spots a speaker over here and yes, privacy blinds. Ini pun penting sebab silau kat luar tu. There. The cockpit is very much like any modern Audi you would expect nowadays. It's a bit angled towards the driver if you look closely at the climate control screen and also the MMI screen. Dia macam angle sikit. So overall, I feel comfortable inside here. Okay, moving on to the boot. Let's have a look. Okay, you find your usual array of controls over here. You pull this and the seats fall forward. You pull this and the seats fall forward. We have some cargo hooks to secure your hooks. And There you go, you have a space saver spare tire over here, along with your first aid kits and whatnot. There is also a bit of lighting inside here to help you see in the dark. So I was told that this boot space for the SUV version is around 580 plus liters, and the Sportback has around slightly lower, I think 540 macam itu. Not too much of a difference lah. Going on to the so-called engine bay of the Q8 e-tron in 50 trim. There is a frunk with a lid here, and this lid is designed to simply cover what is in the frunk and perhaps protect it from the elements as you are driving. Let's move to the passenger seat, the front passenger seat. Let's see if it's as comfortable as the rear. And I would say, you see my feet? They are actually propped up by the firewall. I prefer this kind of seating position because in normal cars, you would be straight like this, lama-lama lengoh. So if you can put your feet over here and prop it up, it saves you a lot of tiredness on your long journeys. Glove box, not too deep I would say, because the hinges are already here, so whatever you put must fit into this strip over here. Anyway, bukan letak barang sangat pun kan, sikit-sikit je. Let's close the door. See, the door closes with a solid thunk. I love the side view mirrors, tajam-tajam macam itu, and all of these are soft touch materials. Very nice. So from the point of view of a passenger, the cockpit feels, I would say, cozy because the dashboard comes up quite high to your sight line. So it sort of envelopes you in a cocoon. I like it. So what do you think of the Audi Q8 e-tron? As you have seen, the price will range from 369,000 to 379,000 ringgit, and the Sportback version is gonna be like 380 plus, slightly more expensive lah. However, if you buy it now, you can take advantage of the tax-free benefits until 2025, and when you look at it, it is actually quite affordable and reasonable to own one. I wouldn't say it's cheap because Audis are certainly in a class of its own. This is a premium car, but it can be had for very good value for money if you take advantage of what we have right now.